Hope you guys, just like we all figured, it's Bray Wyatt. He's back. He's here. Woo! Told you guys I'd be back. Welcome to the third episode of The Gift of Gabe. Honestly, great show. Extreme Rules, one of the best in feels like at least a little while. A good amount of the matches, top to bottom, were great. Great main event, but honestly, guys, what other else can we talk about right now than Bray Wyatt finally being back? But all right, I'll try to save that till later because that's what we really want to talk about. But hey, other than that, really great part of the show. Wasn't able to see the Donnybrook match because just got back from work, but I'm sure it was great. Sheamus, Gunther, and Brawling Brutes Imperium. I'm sure it was a great six-man match. Then we had Rousey versus Liv Morgan in their Extreme Rules match. Honestly, I kind of thought the match was alright-ish. Felt like it was a little awkward at times, especially with the finish. And honestly, I don't know about the rest of you guys who are watching this or watch the show. Not really a fan of Ronda Rousey being the SmackDown Women's Champion again. I honestly just feel like, it's been played out. Like, I don't see what she really does for the company anymore. Like, she doesn't make me want to automatically tune in. Like, when I hear Ronda Rousey, I'm not like, oh, hey, I really got to tune in to the SmackDown or this pay-per-view. Like, I'm just like, meh. I just don't really care. So, yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of the match, only just because it was, like, a bit awkward at times with some of the spots. But you could tell, like, they both were trying, especially Liv. And just not, honestly, a whole huge all-around fan of, Ronda being SmackDown Women's Champion again. But it's here. I just gotta give Papa H the trust and, see what happens with that and where it goes with that. But as of right now, not too high on it because, again, just not too high on Ronda Rousey. Then, guys, Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross in a strap match. We all thought and we all got. It was exactly what we thought it was going to be. It was a brutal strap match. Some of those shots, they were just all around brutal. But it was good. We all figured it would be. Gotta be honest though, Scarlett sprayed the living crap out of him with that pepper spray. Like, it was like, dang, I get it's all scripted and it's all just for entertainment. But god dang, I'd be like, yo, you really just maced the don't know if I can say it on here. You can mace the crap out of me, but seriously, god dang. But honestly, overall, great match. I think the fact that Cross won, and especially how much like Scarlett interfered, which we figured that's what she would do if he won anyway. I'm kind of figuring this is going to keep going on until possibly Crown Jewel, and then that's where the feud will probably end. But we'll see. Though it was a great match, I looked forward to it just like you guys did. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. For it was just exactly what it was—a brutal strap match. I think we got it, and then some. All right, then Bianca Belair versus Bayley Raw Women's Championship. Again, this was a great match. Was all for the get go, and but honestly though, I'm just not. I've said this before in past videos. Just not too high on Belair, just because maybe it's just because of how she's been like booked so dominant. And I'm kind of just ready for a little bit of like a fresh start and change again. Like, I don't know. And plus, I feel like it hurts the credibility of Damage Control for them to not have Bayley being the Raw Women's Champion. Yeah, I know they have the women's tag titles now, but without the Raw Women's title, it's just like, okay, this almost doesn't feel like it's really doing much. Like I said, with the story that they're going with, they could just keep it going to Crown Jewel and then Bayley can end up winning there. But honestly, aside from that, I'm just like, maybe we just need a fresh pace, fresh start. It just feels like Belair is like been pushed like right to the moon, and I just feel like we just need to settle her back down, give someone else a shot, because we all know Bayley would be a great champion anyway, and plus it helps out Damage Control. It would have helped her maybe get something new started, and maybe without being in the title picture. But again, I trust in Papa H. It's probably all going to be fine. We'll see where it goes. Great match overall. I loved it. I'm hoping you guys did too. But now, let's move on to Edge versus Finn Balor. Great, great I Quit match. Loved it from start to finish. I mean, it's Edge versus Finn Balor. Did anyone really expect anything less from these guys? I know I didn't. Honestly, though, knew the Judgment Day was going to give all at some point. Which, side note, I don't know about you guys, but I thought that Dom just beating the crap out of Ray was just perfect. He really hadn't really given that good old fashioned beat down since he had turned heel, but he gave it to him tonight. I don't know about you guys. I know there's probably some of you out there, and maybe not all of you are convinced yet, but Dom's gonna get there, and I think tonight was a pretty good step in him just really letting out that vicious side of him with just the total beatdown of his dad. And then honestly, when Beth Phoenix showed up, I was like, well, that right there is going to be the finish. And it was, of Beth being the one that ends up having to force Edge to say I quit because she was bad at Concerto, which she did. And I also figured as much as you guys probably did too. Rhea Ripley said, I'm still just going to do it anyway. And she did. Overall, great match from start to finish. And honestly, I don't know about you guys, but I really think that the Judgment Day has been built to be a lot more credible and a lot more badass since Triple H has gotten his hands on it, which is what I was hoping for because all three and all four are great workers, and hopefully I was really wanting them to actually get to that next level and be built as a credible group who at some point are going to get maybe some titles around their waist, but that's in the future. We'll wait till then. I feel like tonight was a really good stepping stone with this match, Balor versus Edge, with the great story and the great match behind it. I feel like the future is bright for the Judgment Day. I think the thing with Edge is finally over now, but with the fact that Ripley actually did Concerto Beth, maybe it's not over yet. Who knows? We'll wait and see. All I know tonight is that was a great, fun match. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. And then we got the main event. Rollins versus Riddle inside the fight pit. Great match, and I'm thinking the great culmination to this rivalry. At least I'm assuming that it's probably the end. Again, I don't know. I'm not one of the writers, but I would assume with how they were building it that this would probably be the last fight between him and Riddle, especially since Rollins is getting a U.S. title match tomorrow. We'll cover that tomorrow. Oh, I'm sorry, not tomorrow. On Monday. I'm sorry. Man, Saturday pay-per-views or PLEs are just still getting a little bit used to it. But yeah, with Rollins and Lashley for the U.S. title on Monday, I'm guessing that this is probably going to be the end, and I honestly don't really know if Rollins is going to win the U.S. title or not, but won't get too much into that. We'll talk about that on Monday after the show. For tonight, Rollins and Riddle inside the fight pit was a lot of fun, really good. A little surprised by the finish, only because I wasn't expecting them to use the triangle, and it seemed like it was a little quick, but I think it was fine for what it was. I thought if he used a submission, he probably would have used the bro mission, but now that I think about it, he doesn't really do that a lot lately. It's more just the RKO more than anything, which he did twice. But honestly, great match between Rollins and Riddle, possibly great way to end their saga, their rivalry, and great way to cap off Extreme Rules until the lights went out and he returned. Gotta be honest, I was a little scared for a bit when they showed the graphic right at the bottom screen. I was like, no way, they are not gonna swerve all of us and just be like, oh, it's not actually happening tonight, it's gonna be some other night. That would have been so bad because people would have been so insanely pissed. But lights went out and I was like, yep, we're good. Bray Wyatt, guys, is officially back. We all kind of figured it was going to be him, and even if you didn't, it's him. He's back. Never should have been released in the first place, let's be honest, but he's back. Great reaction from the Philly crowd. I mean, because it's Philly, we love good stuff. Honestly, when the lights first went down, I was like, oh, it's probably just the Eater of Worlds because everyone's holding up the phones and everything. But then as we saw the Funhouse characters and actually saw inside the Funhouse, I was like, it's probably just the Fiend again. But once that door was opened, it was just Bray Wyatt with this new mask. Took it off, and it's, Bray Wyatt with just his normal face saying, I'm here. Honestly, I think this is going to maybe be a little bit more of the Eater of Worlds Bray Wyatt more than the Fiend. only because the Fiend was built up to be like so unstoppable, and I feel like Triple H didn't really want to go back to that because it was so really hard to like book around. So I think he's probably going back to the more traditional, maybe Eater of Worlds gimmick with a little bit of a taste of the Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt like mixed into there. Either way, I know I enjoyed Bray Wyatt's return. I know everyone in Philly enjoyed the return, and I'm sure all of you guys are enjoying it as you're definitely probably tweeting about it right now or even coming to watch this show to hear me talk about how awesome it really was. Either way, Extreme Rules tonight, great from top to bottom, and Bray Wyatt's return just capped it all off. Chef's kiss. It was awesome. Cannot wait to see what unfolds from tonight, from all of the matches, from all the stories, whether they're done or continuing. And just like you guys, cannot wait to see what Bray Wyatt does next. I had to tune into Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, probably anything just to see what's going to be happening next with him. Honestly, though, we know it's going to be fun. It's Bray Wyatt. So, with that, hope you guys enjoyed the show. I know I did. Bray Wyatt is back! And that will conclude episode 3 of the Gift of Gabe show. I will see you guys Monday after Raw. But before I go, don't you guys forget, when it comes talking wrestling, who better to gab with than Gabe? And like, comment, and subscribe if you guys like what you hear in this video. But until then, I will see you guys on Monday. Now just one last time. Bray Wyatt's back! He's here. Alright guys, see you later. Deuces, fuses.